I'm going to be showing you how you can book 6 to 7 sales calls per day using paid advertising. And I've brought back Matt, who's going to be breaking down his exact client acquisition system he is currently using. So if you want to see the exact ads, copy, and process, then stay till the end of this video. Matt, welcome back to the channel. I'm really excited to have you on again and for you to share with us and the audience your winning ads that's been able to scale you to that 12K per month mark and really book you that 6 meetings per day consistently.
Yeah. So some of these ads were at the peak booking me like 6 sales calls per day, and more qualification calls with that as well. So yeah, today I'll just go over a couple of the campaigns that I ran, what brought me success, and how I personally just run
Yeah.
my own B2B ads for the agency, and what works for me.
Awesome, man. Well, really excited to get into it with you. I'll let you take control so you can share your screen and we can sort of go through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just pull up my ads manager first.
Yeah, of course.
I'm only going to
It's
show a
also
couple.
great that someone else is talking about this because I talk about this a lot on my channel and how important it is and that, but for everyone to hear it from someone other than myself is always a good thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, I mean, I recommend not just relying on paid ads, obviously
Yeah,
having
of
other things in
course.
place too. Like, if you have someone managing a cold email outreach, cold DM outreach, just being omnipresent is
Mhm.
a good thing always.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I have a good amount of spend in these past few months.
Yep.
I was running a couple of these at $50 a day at one point.
Yep.
And generating like 7 to 8 leads a day. So it was really, really simple. My most successful one when I was running the very first one that I ever put up, and it was the first time that I filmed any ad, and it just yeah, I put captions on it and it just hit.
Yep.
Um, but it was just me sitting in my car, extremely simple. I was loud as fuck, and I just called out my target audience, and my offer at the time. So feel free to blur what needs to be blurred so I don't get fucking funnel hacked.
Yeah.
But I'll talk to you later about that. But I'll go ahead and just play that now.
Yeah.
PPF installers, detailers, any restyling shop that offers paint protection film as a service. Are you struggling to get consistent PPF jobs on a monthly basis? I'll bring you 5 PPF jobs in 30 days or you don't pay me. Click below to see if you qualify for it and see how we do it.
Dude, it's so,
That
so
was
simple, right?
it was
Like,
literally 15 seconds long.
yeah.
Um, and the lead form that I was using at the time, I believe, was just name, shop name, phone number.
Yeah.
And I would have it connected to my Go High Level account
Mhm.
where um, it would just really notify me. And I can show you
Yep.
my workflows as well. They're
Yep.
extremely simple, and I'll get
Sure.
to that in just a second. But I tried a bunch of different things. A bunch of different things didn't work. And ignore the lead costs on this ad account. I have 6
Yeah.
ad accounts that I'm running my ads from, and this is just one of them.
Yeah.
So um,
Because I know that one hit, right? But like you tried a few other things before that didn't really give you much success. Like I remember when we were first talking, you tried a few ads and the lead quality was shocking and most people didn't answer. And, you went through a phase of a few weeks, or maybe even a month of
it was a few months because
religiously testing.
I was copying like the style and the format of other people's ads.
Yeah.
So at that time I was running photo ads
Mm.
and putting my offer in the headline. Um, but as soon as I transitioned to a talking head ad, it just took a selfie video in the car and just basically said what I would have otherwise said in the ad copy from a previous ad.
Yeah.
It hit, and I think it's due to the fact that I don't know, people want to see people, and
Yeah.
so a video ad of you talking and if you're the face of your company, it just works. People want to see people. And then after that, I tried to like create more complex productions and they just didn't work. Like I took a day to go up to the mountains and shoot. And for context, I'm obviously in the automotive space. You saw the first ad. I was running ad for paint protection film. And that's something that my car has. And so what I did in this ad was I tried to make a hook where I threw basically a bucket of gravel on my car.
Mm.
Because I guess I thought paint protection film installers or detailers would wince at that fact or it would captivate their attention like
Yeah.
what the fuck is this guy doing? But it didn't work that well. I tried it. It was getting me $40 leads. I ran it for a week. It was too expensive. So ended up being just the talking head video in the car worked a lot better.
Yeah.
But I even had this edited up and everything. So um yeah.
All restyling and paint protection shops. Are you struggling to get consistent PPF jobs on a monthly basis? I'll bring you 5 PPF jobs, and I may need you to redo mine in 30 days, or you don't pay me. Click below to find out how I do it and to see if you qualify.
See, to me, that is an awesome ad. And it's funny, like this is why testing is so important, because what you may think will take off and will work really well, sometimes is your worst performer.
Maybe I didn't put enough spend behind it, or maybe I didn't like let it run long enough, but I let it sit for 5 days. I think I spent $250.
Yep.
Um, just didn't hit. It didn't hit the same. I was getting $40 lead costs, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
And I think it's because the hook maybe was too long, but at the same time, I've noticed if I'm not calling out the target like in the first 3 seconds,
Yep.
it doesn't perform as well. If I'm not screaming like
Yeah.
detailers, PPF installers in the first
Yep.
3 seconds,
Yep.
it doesn't work. So maybe if I switch the hook to calling them out first and then I threw the rocks
And
on the
yeah.
car, then it would hit. But yeah, I tried a few different things. I even tried this where I screamed louder. And I went out in the rain and I put the top down in the rain. So it was literally raining in the ad. Um, I got my car all wet and it didn't work. Didn't work either. So my car underwent a lot of abuse through because of these ads. And what
No.
ended up working best was just sitting in the car inside of the car and talking.
Yeah.
So
PPF installers, detailers, any shop that offers PPF as a service for their customers.
didn't
Are you
work.
struggling to get consistent PPF jobs on a monthly basis? I'll bring you 5 PPF jobs in 30 days, rain or shine, or you don't pay me. Click below to see how we do it and to see if you qualify.
Yeah, I put on a rain jacket and everything. Didn't work.
Well,
But it just kind of goes to show how simple, you don't have to put that much thought into it. I know people try to film it with webcam and then hire an editor. I use the captions.ai app. I think you pay monthly for it. I think it's 15 or 20 or maybe even $30 a month. It might be a little expensive. But for the frequency in which I'm filming ads or frequency in which I use it to caption my testimonial videos too.
yep.
So it's worth it.
Yeah.
But I think the point that I'm trying to make here is just make sure that your face is in the video, or even, hire someone to film this type of thing for you and give them a script.
Yeah.
And put captions on it. You don't necessarily need to, but I like to.
I
That's
do like it. I do like captions, and I mean your copy is extremely simple, right? It's a few lines. It's nothing crazy. It's not long form. If we go,
I felt at some times that I should have made it long form, but I've noticed that the creative does most of the heavy lifting for these ads. So in my new copy and the ad that I'm not going to show you guys, that I've been running since yesterday, and you're going to have to block out everything.
yeah,
I have a lot longer copy and a lot longer lead form, because what I started to notice after a certain amount of time was, while it was fantastic that I was generating 7 to 8 leads a day, most of the prospects were super underqualified, and I was wasting like 2 to 3 hours a day on call qualifying prospects
yeah,
and asking them like the fundamental questions, the most basic questions that I probably could have asked on a lead form.
hmm
And so I needed to start to filter out prospects that way so that I would just be having more serious conversations. And that's what I'm testing right now with my new ad, because there's a fine line, I think, between, having too many questions on a lead form, like an excessive amount of questions on a
Yeah.
lead form to a point where people won't fill it out, even if they are qualified, because it's not worth their effort. And having enough questions to weed out like the absolute worst prospects in existence, because you're going to encounter that and that's natural. But as far as targeting goes and starting out, leave your like, to test if your ad works, leave everything very simple. So
Yeah.
simple creative, simple copy, and leave your lead form with, just a name, email, phone number to start.
Yep.
Once you start generating leads, then qualify a little bit more. And if I go to the ad set level, it's nothing complex either. I'm
No,
not even targeting interest. Um, I was looking at,
that's the rain one.
uh, yeah, so for my ad set level, I'm literally just targeting the entire country
Yeah, it's completely open. That's it.
that
You
speak
barely touch
English,
the
that
age.
speak English. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah. And this is what I
Um,
say to people, keep it as simple as possible. And your creative that you're using, it's the same framework that you're using now. The big change, and I want people to know this, the big change that you've made is the qualification in the lead form itself, and obviously the copy is slightly longer.
yeah, and in this new ad, I showed a little bit of social proof as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
just because I'm friends with a couple of my clients that are local to me now, and I'm able to just go to their shops and film ads for it.
Perfect. Yeah.
So on
I
the
think
go high
people
level
can
end,
put two and two together with, how you're doing it and sort of what you're doing, what questions you're asking on the lead form.
yeah, and obviously run your own offer.
Yeah.
Run an offer that is not too outlandish, like
Yeah.
uh,
And which we touched on in the last video. So if you haven't checked that out, link will be in the description.
yeah, like today I saw an offer of someone guaranteeing like 11,000 qualified appointments in the next year.
11,000.
And I was like, that's pretty wild offer. I don't know how realistic that is, because if you do the math, that's like 31 qualified appointments a day. I can't take on 30 appointments a day.
What shop is doing that?
It wasn't a shop, it was like a coach or consultant
Oh,
ad.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
it's like, I'll send you the ad after this. It was
Yeah.
pretty wild. But as far as go high level sequences go, it was extremely simple as well. I send them one text. When I was running this ad, I had it obviously notify myself when a lead came through the
Yep.
pipeline. And then obviously I'd update it in my pipeline. And then I did voicemail drops for a short time.
Mhm.
I didn't find a huge difference other than the fact that a lot of the prospects would call back immediately, because if you don't know, on Go High Level, when you do a voicemail drop, it rings their phone for like 1 second so that it can leave the voicemail. And it's not enough time for them to actually pick up the phone, but it'll say missed call, voicemail. And normally once people see that, they'll go ahead and call back, or they'll listen to the voicemail. And this voicemail was just me saying like,
Hey, this
I
is
don't even
Matt
remember.
from. I had a quick second, so I figured I would just leave this message. I'm actually reaching out because I saw you filled out our form regarding getting you more PPF drops into your shop. So I just wanted to learn a little bit more about how you and your business operate and answer any questions for you about our process. So would love to connect with you and further discuss this. If you could just give me a call back at this number, or you could send us a message here as well. So
Super
really looking forward
simple.
to hearing from you.
Very simple. I didn't notice huge like difference in,
Yeah.
response rate with the
Okay.
voicemail versus not. And I tested this like over
Yeah.
the course of the last 2 months. Um,
Again,
one thing that I can say with the voicemail is that it got people to call you. Um, but 99% of the time when that happened, like I wasn't able to pick up.
right.
So it was really annoying. And then you ended up just playing phone tag and you get them mad.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's literally it. Um, and obviously organize your pipeline accordingly. The
Yeah.
biggest mistake I made was at the time when flow was too much for me. I struggled a little bit to keep track of leads, the
Yep.
pipeline status, everything like that. Things got disorganized. So things will get disorganized as your numbers increase. So make sure you keep organized metrics
For sure.
and accountability for everyone who comes to the pipeline.
Yeah.
So this is just what works for me. I'm not going to say that this is the, surefire and definitive way to run
Yep.
B2B ads. But for my niche, which I would respectfully describe as a more unsophisticated niche, then, something as simple as this
Works well.
works for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. I mean, yeah, this just goes to show like keeping it simple is always better. Don't overcomplicate it. I remember when I was just starting out with advertising and trying to run ads for myself, like it was like, you want to get all fancy and technical and you think that's what matters, but it's like that shit really doesn't work.
no, it
It's
really
not
doesn't.
going to get the best results. If you keep everything open, I always say the copy and the creative is really what does the targeting, right? The creative is the one that qualifies who you're, speaking to, right?
I think nowadays as well, obviously we're in the short form content age, right?
Yeah.
So now versus something like 3 years ago, like where a long form video would work. Nowadays, I don't think so much. You have to captivate attention within the first 3 seconds,
Yeah.
generally. Otherwise you lose them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just what I've been focused on.
Yeah.
And creating or making creatives that are very concise
Yeah.
and trying to captivate my audience attention within the first 3 seconds. I think I have the formula down, like, and you can really kind of just copy the formula that I used.
I mean, it's just the standard formula, right? Like, I mean, the only other thing that which you've added into the new one is social proof. It's
Yeah.
calling out your audience, attention, XYZ. Are you a XYZ? State their pain or problem, right? State your offer and your solution, call to action. That's it. It's simple, like obviously
Doing that in under 30 seconds or less is pretty hard.
it is when very difficult
Because
to
you're gonna have a tendency to, or
a lot of the time it's more like 60 seconds. But yeah,
yeah,
do it in under 30 is difficult. You've like there's no time to breathe, there's no ums, there's no ahs. It's quick, it's concise, and that's it. And to add social proof as well is even more difficult.
yeah, and then the natural like compulsion is to like
Ramble. Yeah.
elaborate on like what you're talking about and how you can do what they're doing, how you can do what you say you're doing in the ad,
Yeah.
because you're trying to create like an authoritative figure, but the reality of it is you don't have time to do that. And
No.
you'll just have to convince them on the qualification I'll call on the back end.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really the formula, right? Like you see it with all the top performing ads across, the agency space, right? It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's the same
Well,
formula.
some of them are longer form.
Yes,
But
some
I've
of
seen a
them
lot
are.
of like coaching and consult or like ads targeting agency owners that just I don't know. I never stick around for the past like the first 5 seconds unless I see like Joel Kaplan's face or something.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, this is how I run it. It's not, this template, this formula works for my niche and the way I run it. And being super casual and very little editing works for me. It feels a little bit more UGC,
Yep.
which is I think what people gravitate more towards nowadays, since people don't like looking at ads, people don't like seeing ads. So
Yeah.
if your video feels like an ad, it's bad.
Yeah.
I think your tonality and your energy within the video matters a lot. So obviously in those videos, you could see I'm a lot more energetic and like a lot louder
Yeah.
than I am right now.
But you need to
Um,
be. right? You need to be, and that's something that I've even noticed on YouTube with doing, especially screen recording type videos. When
Yeah.
you're sitting in front of a camera, like you are energetic, but you may think you're energetic, but if you go watch yourself, you're pretty standard. It's normal. It's pretty monotone. And that's something like even doing these screen shares, recording my screen and that sometimes I'm a little bit monotone because, you know, I think I'm being energetic, but it's really not. You definitely have to emphasize, um, you know,
Yeah.
what you do.
No, I definitely feel like very monotone even in these videos, explaining
Mhm.
everything. Like
Yeah,
like there's no reason to sit here and listen to me. Like I feel like a very boring speaker. Um, but that pretty much sums it up. This is like what
yeah,
I do for my niche. Obviously, go ahead and test what will work for yours.
of course.
Because the only way to find out is to just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, really appreciate you jumping back on the channel. Guys, if you do want to ask him questions, links will be in the description to his Instagram. Hit him up. He's usually a fun, happy guy that is more than willing to answer questions. So just don't ask stupid ones. Don't copy either. Create, you know, something for yourself. I think, like Matt was saying at the beginning, he spent months figuring out what worked and what didn't. So it takes
Yeah.
time. Don't just expect you launch one ad and within 3 days you're going to get a client, you know?
I mean, realistically, it took like one talking head video for myself to figure out like
Yeah, what sort of worked, what
that
didn't.
this was gonna work. Yeah, because it
Yeah,
just outperformed like
everything.
immense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a
Um,
drastic difference.
but yeah, use the template. If you copy my offer, you're a bum.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, I mean,
And
your offer's slightly different now anyway. So it's
okay,
good.
yeah, fine. Copy my offer. It's not gonna work. You're still a
Yeah.
bum.
It's
Because
it's it's, it's
there's
your
already people running
offer's
my
different anyway.
offer in the
Yeah.
niche anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly. Anyway, your offer's your offer's far superior now. So, you know, just guys, think for yourself. You know, like use this as a model, but think for yourself. And I know in the beginning it is very difficult, so we do gravitate to copying, but once you know get some experience, actually create something for yourself, because what's the worst thing that can happen? You give a refund, who gives a shit? You're learning. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, who cares? Give them the money back, whatever. No big
Just
deal.
keep it away. Keep it away in a piggy bank. Don't even touch the money
Yeah,
that you get for your first few
exactly.
clients. Seriously.
Exactly.
Like that's the best way to do it. It really because realistically, it's not your money until you deliver, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. So keep it separate. But Matt, really excited that you know shared this with everyone. Sure, everyone got some value from it. So yeah, really great having you on.
yeah, likewise. I appreciate you having me on here.
Awesome, man.